So one skill that can often take a little bit of time to get better at is debugging your programs. Now, to be able to debug a program, there's kind of two different things you need to think about. The first is finding syntax errors or errors that the compiler won't allow you to proceed until you've finished. And within Coral, you know that when you enter execution, if there's a problem with your program, it will show you. Like if I put output as an uppercase O, and I go, see, it's going to tell me there's a problem. The second type of debugging is making sure that your program is doing what it's supposed to do. And so once you've got it syntax correct and it will run, now you need to make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to. And the way that oftentimes, we're pretty impatient. I want to see my program run. I just immediately go to run here. I may even have changed the execution speed so it's instant. But another way to do this is to step through it. Now, I'm using this kind of default program that it's not very tricky to follow, but it'll be the same regardless of how complex your program is. What I want to do is step through one line at a time. Now notice it just executed line 5, and in line 5 it got the input and put it in the variable called x, and then it dropped to the next line, and then I'll do the same thing and it put the next one in y, and now it gets to the if statement. Now here's where it can be a little more subtle. Now notice when I step through here and hit it again, rather than it dropping to the next line, if this was true, meaning if x was greater than y, which it's not, it's false. So rather than hitting the true line, it drops to the else, and it's ready to execute line 11, which is the false line. And so then I hit step, it assigns the value to max, and it drops down, and we hit it one more time, and it shows us the output. So again, going through this step by step will help you understand how your program is executing, if it's running correctly or if it's not running correctly. Often we call errors that we see in this context as logical errors because they're problems in the actual logic of our program. And you should be able to spot and identify those if you step through it and take the time to make sure it's working right. Once you get into other languages, they have much more sophisticated debugging structures that can even be easier to work with when it comes to trying to identify problems in complex programs. But for Coral, this is what you get. I hope that this will help you to understand you can go line by line and see what is happening in each step of your program. Thanks.